Yes,
Hello.
yeah. I ran over time with the previous student. Yeah, he did talk quite a lot. Sorry for that.
Uh, I chose the to.
Hello, can you hear me?
Sorry, my Wi-Fi isn't good. And sorry. Moment. 你们小声点，I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, you've been waiting for me for quite some time. So, yeah, can you tell me something about yourself?
My name is Annie, senior student in the high school university. And about before year, I studied around six subjects, such as math, English, Chinese, biology, chemistry, and physics. What's more, math is my favorite subject, right? Since the math can boost my logic, and also I can find a feeling of achievement from solving the math problems. And mm, sing and make some hand words never fails to attract me. So as I may do some hand making with my friends, and I also joined many activities. For example, like the military defense club in my school, and the Citibank Younger Talent Program. And so much for this.
All right. So, yeah, you have just given me lots of information. So, how about I'll start from the military defense club. So, how did you choose to join the military defense club?
I think it's interesting, and I do some chemistry and research in this club, since only this club can provide some material for you. So join it.
Okay, I see. So I'm not really familiar with this kind of clubs. So can you tell me something which you are doing? Can you give me an example of any kind of activities which you organized?
Like we used to make the handmaking airplane in this club, where the schools want us to make some things show on the school celebration. So we make the handmaking airplane in this celebration, and we can control it to fly in the skies dream, and so.
Okay, I see. Wow. So in terms of this kind of activity or the one which you just told me, what was your role? Like, how did you contribute to this project?
I was responsible to collect the data and design the shapes of the airplane, and I'm not control the airplane in the gym, but I collect the material and collect the data for the airplane.
Okay, I see. Wow. So what do you think you have learned most from this experience?
I think I got a lot of friends who both like the handmaking airplane, and also I think it's a good way for me to to learn how to collect the things, how to summarize all of the data, and it also improve my community's skill. Mm.
Okay, I see. So in terms of, you mentioned that this improved your communication skills. So among all the skills, can you tell me more about all kinds of skills which you have?
Like leadership where I used to be a leader in a competition about commerce. In that time, one company asked us to join a commerce community com company, and where we need to make a plan about project, and where the company want us to make a plan for a project, and they are going to make the project to, for example, like Africa, and where so I recommend myself as a leader, and where I'm responsible to send off the words for my co-workers, my group.
Okay, I see. So in terms of your leadership skills, can you give me another like more samples of how you exerted your leadership skills?
Mm, well, I used to join like a research. We need to do a research about the water in our hometown, and we need to collect the data, and we need to come chat with the local people. So, at that time, I also is a leader in this group, and so I was going to choose the people, and where since at that time we need to choose the people by ourselves in our class. And also I'm going to chat with local people, where since we need to use the local language, and I'm the only people who know this local language, and well, so much for this.
Okay, I see. It's quite interesting. So it sounds like you have quite an active after school life. You are very active in the community.
Yeah, it's
So yeah, right. So you also mentioned that you were engaged in the Citibank projects.
yeah.
Yeah, so can you tell me more details?
Helps
Oh, can you tell me more details of the Citibank projects?
like the rule or the plan.
Like, oh, what were you doing? Which kind of, like, you mentioned the Citibank, so were you doing like an internship or what was it?
Oh no, no, it's
Yeah.
just a competition about one plan, and many groups in this competition. We just the company want to choose better plans to award. So it's just yeah, it's just a competition.
Oh, okay, I see. So which kind of like, what do people really compete?
Well, they want to find a plan which can help them to save the money,
Uh,
and also they want this plan is useful for them. So I think this competition is want to like experience or talent
uh,
or younger.
right, right, I see. Right. So how did you try to prove, how do you try to prove your value then in this
Well,
project? Uh-huh.
in that time,
Yeah.
I was still a shy girl, so
Uh-huh.
I want to try to communicate with others, and I want to improve my communication skill.
Uh,
So I joined this program.
okay, I see. Right. So yeah, I think you mentioned that at school you really enjoy math and you enjoy solving the math questions, the
Um,
math problems. Yeah.
ma-
So can you give me like an example of how you solved, how you overcome some difficulties and solve a problem?
well, my school always holding uh, about the math, and they will give us some very difficult questions,
Uh,
and they will use people to award where uh, the math teacher will choose some people to do something, And well, so I used to join many of these tests and got a good grades. Where since once I say I can solve the test, other can deal with it, I will feel so happy and only can solve it.
Right, right. I see. So yeah. So what do you plan to study in the future?
Still, I want to study the math.
Oh, math. Okay, that's very interesting. Yeah. So which kind of job do you want to do in the future?
Actually, I want to open a coffee shop in the future.
Really?
Where it's where since I think many girls want to open a small coffee shop in their hometown since
Right.
it's a dream, and I think we can not only work in that place and also do some research about cake where we can find the time when the cake are delicious and also what's
Oh yes. Yeah, I'm just listening.
and I want to make the shop much more popular in the world kinds of people people from kinds of countries to go to my shop to test for want to test my cake and coffee.
Right, right. So yeah. So with the like because I really enjoy coffee and cakes too. So especially cakes. What kind of cake would you make if you were going to run? Like, what's going to be your special cake?
The cupcakes, I
Oh,
think cute. It's
yeah.
cute and delicious and where I used to test many cupcakes in my country. I think the shapes of this cupcakes is very cute and beautiful. And I think when I eat the cupcakes, not increase my weight. Um, and so much
So
for
how
this.
will your cupcakes be different from what is already available in the market? Uniqueness of your cupcakes. Uh-huh.
I want to make the different shapes of the cupcakes where the shape can attract many people's attention.
I
And
see. Uh-huh.
and also I want to try to use different kinds of tests where we not only use the common test and we can use something very strange and well it's like challenging for eating my cake.
Uh-huh. Okay, I see. Wow. Yeah, I think I already know quite a bit about you. Sounds like you're really like an interesting girl. So yeah, I noticed that you have a TOEFL of 71. And are you planning to take the TOEFL test again?
Yeah, I used to test the top or again in in the last Sunday.
Oh, you only just took it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, because from your speaking and listening, I think that should surely be like you should able to reach 79. Although I don't know anything about your writing or reading yet. So, but yeah, I would encourage you taking the TOEFL again and to try to meet the entry requirement.
Mm,
Yeah. Yeah. So have you been to Washington D.C. area?
mm, and I never go to the Washington.
Oh, okay, I see. Have you been to the US in the past?
Never.
All right. So what do you think, like once you start to study in the US, what do you think might be the biggest challenge for you?
I think I need to study and live by my own self, and maybe I will feel I may feel lonely. So in the first year, I need to use time to adjust the life in the America.
I see. Actually, I think that because it sounds like you're really in sort of extracurricular activities, so as long as you actively engage in the community, you should be fine at Washington College. The reason for that is because, like in the US, not all universities have a campus. So there's a difference between a campus university and a university which does have a campus. So, for example, New York University, even New York University, like the buildings are mixed up in the city. So you take a class, you go to the university building, and then you walk out of the building, you will be in New York. So you're going to like be mixed with the LC. So it's not a closed campus, no walls for the campus. There's no campus at all. So it's just like buildings which is spread around in the city. So this is very common in the US, but Washington College is unique because Washington College is a campus university, and that means almost everybody lives on campus. So even after class, the American students will be living on campus, and there's a very active campus life. So a person like yourself who's very interested in all sorts of activities and clubs, you have lots of opportunities to hang out with the local students. So I don't think that's like making new friends should not be a huge issue for you at all.
Since the difference between the language, so I think I may use a lot of time to address it, and where it's not.
Students are concerned because Washington College, the majority of students are Americans. Actually, it's the opposite as people think because say 95% of the American students are very curious about the international students. They're very keen and they would take the initiative to approach you too sometimes in order to know more about the international culture, Chinese culture. Whilst if you go to a university with thousands of other Chinese students, like the American students wouldn't be so curious about you as a person because there are already so many Chinese students there. Whilst at Washington College, the majority of students are Americans, so that's why they're so curious. So even if you are not perfect, like even if your English is not perfect at the beginning, you don't need to be nervous because students are quite relaxed and they will understand where you come from. And actually, like I have also interviewed transfer students from other state universities, and I would say like even though their state university is so famous, but they have studied there for 2 or 3 years, and their English is not even as good as the English of the international students who have studied at Washington College for even 1 or 2 semesters. Most of the time, the students whom I had interviewed in the past, when I talk with them in a year, I just don't recognize of them at all. They had improved their English so much that I don't recognize them at all. So if you're worried that you may not be able to make new friends, I don't think that's something which you need to worry about. That's what has provided quite a lot of opportunities. Yeah.
So
because the American students they also live on campus. So after class, you have lots of opportunities.
So I need to worry about this problem.
I don't think that's going to be an issue for a person like yourself. Yeah.
I think maybe I may not possess much more questions in the state living in the American.
Yeah, and also Washington College really offers the best of both sides because from Monday to Friday you live on campus, which is extremely safe because it's a college town. So almost everybody in Chestertown are either students or a member of the faculty. So you don't have you have an outside person on campus at all. So that's why it's extremely safe. Because sometimes parents are worried about the crimes in the U.S. But then over the weekend there are buses going to Washington D.C. and those shuttle buses are completely free. You don't need to pay anything at all. So you can go to Washington D.C. every weekend. Washington D.C. is a very popular tourism area. There are lots of museums, lots of shops, and restaurants.
That sounds great.
Really yeah, and also I don't know whether you have been to the U.S. in the past, but Washington College is not very far from New York either. So there are also buses going to New York, go to Baltimore, go to Philadelphia, all kinds of major cities, and those buses are free.
Ask a question about Washington College.
Sure.
In your opinion, what kind of students does school are more like?
Well, I already mentioned that Washington College is a campus university, so your contributions to the future community life will be quite important, because we don't want you to close your dormitory to yourself all the time, right? We would like everybody to contribute something to the community, but from the other end, students would really have to work really hard, because it's a small class, and so in each class, especially in mathematics, there can be sometimes like 8 or 10 students in the class. So you would have to work really hard, and in class you would be able to talk as well. Because if you don't do anything, then because what you do, you get a lot of attention from the professor. So if you don't do well, the professor can catch you quite easily. But if you're a hardworking student, if you are able to if you're a serious student, work hard enough, then it's also easier for you to get good results. Because if you have any difficulties, it's easy for you to get help from the academics.
I got it.
Yeah.
It means students must be willing and must work hard, and must be serious about their projects.
I mean, each student is different. Like you, I think you're quite interested in kind of community life, but some students are not. But regardless, it's more an attitude of whether you want to interact, whether you would like to fit into the community. Because each person is different and they can contribute in different ways.
Oh, I know.
But this needs to be a culture and like a resource which everybody agree to.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say like something like those American students of Washington College are actually from sort of middle class families. So I think they have really good education at home. Well, because even in the US, even in the US, for the Americans to pay so much money to go to a good university like this, the students would really have to be from middle class families. It's not like a state school. Sometimes you pay, like state schools, lots of students don't need to pay, so they can be from all kinds of family background. But Washington College, everybody has to pay. Even American students will have to pay. That's how they can offer more classes and offer such good education. Yeah. So usually the American students are from quite good family background.
So
educated too. Yeah.
So I may guess
Oh, sorry, I don't hear you. Oh, okay. What did you say? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?